Reading a book. Working title: The Wrong Number. Logline: A woman dials the wrong number and finds a voice that steadies her restless nights. The more they talk, the clearer it becomes that the man on the other end hears the city in a way few people do. In the hush of background noise lies the key to a small urban mystery, and the reason they shouldn't rush to meet. Chapter 1. The Voice. Darius stared at the dark window above her kitchen sink. Her reflection held a phone and a plan. To end something properly. She dialed a number she knew by heart and missed one digit. The ring had already started. Canceling would be cowardly. She left the phone on the table and listened. "Hello?" a man said. Clear, warm, with a broadcast smoothness to it. "Hi," she answered. "I think I got the wrong number." "It happens. Most people just hang up." "I'm, not most people." A chair creaked on his end, a soft fabric rasp. Under it all, a distant hum. Ventilation, perhaps. She felt oddly at ease. "I work nights," he said. "A wrong number is like a beam of human light." "Where do you work?" "Where noise becomes music." Sorry, that sounded poetic. "I'm tech at a tiny radio studio." "I'm Daria, and you?" "Let's go with Maxim." "Is that your real name?" "It's a name one can say when strangers call at night." "All right, Maxim. Since you woke me, share something only a person in your exact spot could hear." "Like what?" "Something that makes the night less empty." "Do you hear the hum? Old ventilation shafts. Their geometry whistles on a G. Sometimes I play along with my keys." A twinkle of metal chimes. She might have imagined the hum shift. Reading a book. They talked for 40 minutes, mostly about sound. Maxime could read the world by its background. Daria realized she could too. That night, she couldn't sleep. The drape of his vowels kept returning. The way he said sorry with a tiny break on the second syllable. As a copywriter, she collected tones for a living. Now she collected his. The next day, she dialed the right number and again hit the wrong one. The ring, the voice. "It's me again," she said. "I thought so," he replied. "Your pause before the pickup is very particular." They set rules. No verification questions, no meeting requests, no turning the voice into a photo. The voice was their safety contract. She learned to love without an image. The way he softened today. The way he never interrupted. The way he asked her to place the phone by the window for a different resonance. Reading a book. One night, the line exploded into static. Beneath it, Daria heard a rhythm, ta-tum, ta-tum, metallic heartbeat. "Maxim?" she shouted. Breath faded in. The static thinned. "Sorry, grounding is a mess in here," he said. "We fix things with tape sometimes." "What was the ta-tum?" "Your window. Wind riding the pane. 7th floor?" "7th. Then wind. That pattern is rare." In the other ear, she'd heard a siren. He seemed to notice. "Listen closely," he said. "Contractors run compressors at night in your area. They mimic sirens, but they cut off cleanly. Real sirens slide down." "How you know my area?" "I don't. I hear." That night, she began listening on purpose. By evening, she'd bring him sonic finds like a child brings shells from a beach. Reading a book. He broke a rule and called first. "I've got a tape," he said. "Wanted you to hear it." A boy's voice, breathless, rolling R's, a letter to his mother. "Sorry I ran. I miss our window." Then silence, a tram bell at the end. "It's old, 10, 12 years, Maxim said. "We're cleaning it up." "Why play it from me?" "Because the boy hides worry behind precise words like you sometimes do. I wanted you to hear how that sounds from the outside. And at the end, he says, I'll be back on Tuesday. Words recorded long ago can still be true, even if there have been 1,000 Tuesdays since." "You're a good person," she said. "That's a big word for someone who fixes wires." Reading a book. Their accidental friendship became stricter and, at the same time, more random. One night, a rustle in the bushes near her building. A figure in a hood. Heavy keys. A wheezy inhale. Grit on the steps where there should have been none. "Remember the sound," Maxime said calmly. "Details matter." In the morning, they talked like detectives. Grit means sand abrasives from facade repairs, he guessed. They leave particles that turn shoes into sandpaper. And the keys? Keys belong to people who open many doors, or people who want to look like they do. In the building chat, someone had posted a clip of a fake plumber with a master key. Commenters joked, a few worried. Daria felt neither. She felt the weight of the thing she'd recorded. "I can listen," Maxime said that night. "Sometimes listening is a kind of help." She believed him. They turned the city into a sound map. Drain gurgles, stairwell arias, bus crackle. He labeled spectrums. She labeled feelings. Then the hooded figure's steps returned. She recorded them casually while chatting, a mask over the microphone. The right shoe lagged by a fraction. The key ring had a signature pitch. "It's the same person," Maxim said. 90% sure. "What do we do?" First, understand why. He's not hunting. He enjoys access. That's power. Replace the locks. Return the master key to the people it belongs to. Together, they drafted a letter to the building management. Clear, precise, with audio evidence and plain language risk. It read like a duet. Reading a book. A friend at a neighboring studio let Maxime browse test recordings, footsteps, keys, handle clicks. He found an exact key ring zing. The clip showed a strap with a heavy key cluster. A hooded silhouette flashed across the frame. Management replied, apology, lock replacement, employee exceeded authority. The hooded figure vanished from the courtyard. The chat went quiet. Daria slept. They met, finally, at the studio. It looked like it sounded. Warm lamps, felt panels, leads that did, indeed, rely on careful tape. I thought you'd be shorter, he joked. I thought you'd have a beard, she answered. Beards suit faces. Silence suits voices. And you? I'm learning, he said. He showed her the spectrum of the key's chime, the paper-like rustle of a hood slipping over a shoulder. We can't identify people, he said. We identify habits. Habits sometimes lead us to people. Play the boy again, she asked before leaving. Are you sure? Yes. I'll be back on Tuesday. When the tape ended, he added, his mother came today. She said thank you. He returned a year later. Some Tuesdays are longer than others. She smiled without fear for the first time in days. They talked more often but kept the camera off. Their story belonged to sound. One windy night, the pain sang in G again. It's strange, Daria said. I fell in love with what can't be seen, with the voice that knows how my elevator sings. I fell in love with how you listen, he said, with how you leave space between questions. That's rare, the refusal to fill everything with words. What do we do now? Breathe, he said. Speak when we want to, listen when we don't. The detective part is over. The drama's just life with decent sound. They recorded the silence, breath, distant trolley, the memory of a boy who did, in fact, return on a Tuesday. That silence was their song. The end, followed by a pause. Reading a book. Daria had stopped checking the entrance door without noticing when exactly that happened. A week of quiet settles like a new password. First you write it down, then your fingers remember. Do you hear it? She asked by the elevator. I do, Maxim said. A long exhale from the shaft, fifth floor warmed the rails. Elevators breathe louder when our chat argues, she tried to joke. Elevators are just more honest than people. She picked up a flyer by the door. Safety is our priority. Glossy logo, fresh ink. She fanned it with her fingers, feeling the dry paper. We've done what we could, Maxim said. We have no enemy now. We never had an enemy, she said. We had a sound we wanted to turn off. The doors opened. I'm coming over tonight. I want to hear rain on your studio roof. Rain there is always in sea. Come. Reading a book. In rain, the studio felt like a house whose windows looked inward. Drops struck the vents. Between gusts, a thin current rose like a flexing record. Maxim handed her a second set of headphones. I want you to hear the in-between.
Between what?
Between sound and silence. That evening, the building chat flared. Someone called, said he was from management, asked to access the stairwell panel. No uniform, no badge. A photo, blurred, as if the phone was lowered last second. Only a sleeve and a compact keyring. But on the wall, a shadow, a hood dipping forward. Familiar. Darya called Maxim. He might be back. Could be anyone, Maxim said carefully. Let's listen. What does the clip sound like? 2 knocks on the rail, like testing. Short inhale, no wheeze. Then not him. Our guy wheezes. And the shadow? Shadows imitate worse than sounds. Let's not build a legend out of half-tones. The old fear stirred, happy to return. If it's a copycat, then our story isn't just ours anymore. Stories seek a stage. Ours is sound. Reading a book. Next day, the elevator froze between floors. Metal damp, lemon cleaner, cheap rubber, somebody's coffee, a cocktail of stuffed cabins. She pressed the dispatcher button. It crackled, breathed, failed. She called Maxime. "Don't panic," he said on the second ring. "Hear that? The car dropped 5 millimeters. Door lock settling. All I hear is my own heart. Switch focus. Describe smells. Metal, lemon, rubber, coffee. Good. Now sound. Any zing? No, just a steady hum. Then the key man isn't involved. It's just an elevator." He explained rails and brakes, his calm lecture pushing panic into a corner. 5 minutes later, the cabin breathed and moved. "See?" Maxime said. "Tech likes being listened to." "And I like being pulled out of fear by a voice," she said. "Thank you."
Reading a book. A client brought 3 cassettes. "My son," the older man said. "He always called from the workshop. It buzzed." A different voice than the Tuesday boy, older, steadier, with a sandpaper laugh. He spoke of bolt sizes and key rings, how heavier ones chime better. Each message ended with 2 taps on the rail. "Hear it?" Maxim said. "Our double knuck." "But the inhale doesn't wheeze," Darya noted. "Right, and the keys are different, but habits act like signatures." On the 3rd tape, the man said he'd switch jobs. "I'm going to building management. Endless keys." "Maybe he's the one they fired," Darya guessed. "Or the one who trained our guy. Habits travel by sound." They cleaned the tapes. The client listened, hands clenched on his bag strap. "He died 3 years ago, but while I can still hear him, he's here." They kept silence after he left. Sometimes silence is not emptiness, but respect.
Reading a book. Music, a thin, tense pulse. News from the chat. Someone left a tape strip at a door. A photo, brown plastic, blue rubber band, urban legend material. They loaded the tape. SF, reel-to-reel click. Soft tape rustle, sporadic crackle. A voice crawled out, masked by grit. "Don't walk alone. I can see you." But the background told on itself. A clipped digital echo, the cheap app kind. "Not tape," Maxime said. "A fake. A digital file dubbed to film for effect." Why? To make the sound scarier than it is. To rent space in your head. "I won't lease my hearing out," Darya said. "Good. We can file a report. Mostly, we refuse to cast them." Reading a book. They walked the courtyard as if to listen to the city. In truth, to meet. If Maxime saw the hood, he'd speak first. Darya would record. A figure stood by the service door. No hood, a beanie. A slim keyring at his belt. "Evening," Maxime said. "We live here. Who are you here for?" "Inspection," the man grunted, voice stuffed into his nose. "Badge? Work order?" "Don't have to show." "You do," Darya said. "This is private property." 2 knocks on the rail. Tuck, tuck. "Habit," Maxime murmured. "Who taught you?" The man scowled. "Move." "No," Maxime said. "ID, please." He bolted for the yard. The keys chimed, short and poor, not long singing Darya remembered.
A copycat, not ours. Still, her hand shook. We don't chase, Maxime said, holding her gaze. We've already won. Our yard knows how to listen.
Reading a book. New locks. A human-sounding letter from management. The chat drifted from fear to the band playing in the square. Daria read The City like a favorite book. She liked her job better now. Words had backgrounds. Maxime taught her to hear the silences between other people's lines. We know too much about your elevator, he smiled. Time to learn the C. The C sounds like every day today, just louder. They met more, but at night they still left the camera off. Love is sound too, best left uncompressed. One autumn evening, they taped nothing but breath. Distant city, the Windows G, and threaded through memory, a boy who, in the end, did come back on a Tuesday.